The prognosis for Mr. Rushdie is not great, but it looks like he's going to live. He seems to have been stabbed twice, and he is now on a ventilator, and at the moment he cannot speak. It's possible that he's going to lose an eye. And where does this come from? This all comes from a fatwa issued by the Ayatollah Khomeini, who was the first supreme leader of Iran after the revolution. And Ayatollah Khomeini is responsible for not only the fatwa, but also a spurious piece of writing and edicts that turned suicide, which was hitherto completely taboo in Islamic thought, into something that was a cause for celebration. And there was a young boy called Hossein, who's 13, who was the first suicide bomber, and there are posters of him blowing himself up together with Khomeini at the top, Hussein at the bottom, and it is really quite a shocking poster, particularly when you look in the Koran and in the various hadiths. There are up to 30 odd different hadiths. The hadiths are the commentaries on the Koran. There was independent literature. Some hadiths are more important than others, some more highly regarded than others. But there are so many references to a prohibition of suicide. Suicide is utterly wrong. It's completely condemned in verse 29 of sura Nisa in the Quran itself. Do not kill yourselves. But, you know, there are discussions about what you should eat and how particular lifestyles can be construed as a form of suicide, and therefore they also are wrong. What the Ayatollah managed to do was to turn suicide into a form of shaheed, martyrdom. It's completely repulsive and foul theology. So one shouldn't be that surprised that he also issued this fatwa. A fatwa cannot be revoked except by the person who issued it. He died. I try as often as I can to see the best in people. I see nothing positive in this foul, abhorrent, evil cleric. Evil. And he has set the tone for revolutionary Iran, although various people in Iran have tried to pull back. In addition to the fatwa, a bounty was placed on the head of Mr. Rushdie, and that also, as far as I know, has never been revoked. So, you know, Mr. Salman Rushdie was walking around with a price on his head. I think he is a brave man. As I say, I don't really think The Satanic Verses is a great book. I think Midnight's Children is a profoundly great book, but nothing compares with Haroun and the Sea of Stories, which is a simply delightful book. If you haven't come across Haroun, I hugely recommend you go out and get it immediately. If you want a delightful evening, Haroun and the Sea of Stories is your book.